am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose rapture. A city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, rapture can become your city as well.
Just one more minute. Spear's coming up now. Johnny, security's banging off all over. Get a move on.
No trespass. Just don't hurt me. Just let me go. You keep my gun.
How's it going? Welcome back to another great video here on The Savior Show. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure that you go down below and you subscribe, because you don't want to miss out on the fantastic content on this glorious channel, do you? So make sure you do that and check out the music that I make on Spotify, my electronic synth music. I'm sure you will like it. And if you do enjoy this video, consider giving it a like and showing support in any way that you can. Now let's dive in to my Bioshock retrospective. So I am going to avoid spoilers because this is for people who perhaps haven't played Bioshock. This is a new series that I'm doing, and basically this is why you should play Bioshock in 2023 if you haven't already played it. And maybe if you have played it, this will give you an incentive as to go back and maybe take a second look at it, because when I first played Bioshock as a teenager, I did not get it, okay, and it just went way over my head. I gave it up because it just didn't hook me. Maybe Bioshock interested you, but you never took the plunge into playing Bioshock. If you pardon the pun. Jesus Christ, kill me now. I'm going to make this video and the structure of this video a little bit different from the rest because there are so many video essays on Bioshock. But yeah, this is why you should play Bioshock in 2023 and my up-to-date Bioshock 2023 review. So I am looking at the remaster, not the older game. Now, I played this on Switch, on the Switch OLED, and damn, it's amazing. That's a great port, so if you've got a Switch, I would recommend it, especially on the OLED, because the blacks and the lighting in Bioshock, it just complements the OLED screen. And yeah, I think it's a great way to play it, or on PC, but you can get the remaster now on any new gen console. Make sure you do stick around until the end of the video, because I do have something extra that you might enjoy, but I'm going to structure this in two parts. Okay, the first part is going to be the philosophy behind Bioshock and the story analysis of Bioshock and stuff like that. And the second part will be the gameplay aspects of Bioshock, because this is why I love Bioshock so much. Not many games are like Bioshock in that the lore is so integrated with the gameplay, just like it is with Dark Souls. Everything in-game, in the universe of Bioshock, actually makes sense within the gameplay, and that's such a special thing in video games. Video game developers need to understand that a lot of players appreciate that type of detail, and I'm one of those people. So let's break down what exactly is Bioshock all about. So Bioshock came out quite a long time ago now, and it still looks amazing. if you care about graphics, then you're playing games for the wrong reason, in my opinion. It still looks amazing. The art style and the level design in Bioshock is what makes it just an absolute classic and timeless, if you ask me. So this is an FPS, a survival horror FPS, because this blends gameplay from RPGs, from sandbox type games like System Shock or Prey, and I think that's why Bioshock was so special to so many people, and it broke the trend of what a game could be, especially in a horror type setting, because when I first played this as a teenager, I shat myself. I found it too scary. I found it very disturbing with the little sisters, the little children in this. They just creeped me out, and I just noped. I noped out of it, and yeah, I just couldn't hack it. But now, thanks to modern entertainment and media, I'm completely desensitized and nothing phases me. And I would not say Bioshock is a scary game. I would say it is a creepy, atmospheric, disturbing experience, but it's not a horror game. It doesn't try and get you with a lot of jump scares. Bioshock is confident enough that just by using its ambience and atmosphere and world design, it's enough to make you feel on edge. And it does that in so many great ways. And I'm going to get into the reasons as to how it pulls off such an amazing atmosphere. Bioshock is a very different type of game from most FPS shooters / RPGs, because this game is intellectually stimulating and it engages you with a lot of different ideas if you pay attention. If you just want to go through something scary and spooky with great ambience and you're that type of player, then hey, you can enjoy this as well. But that's why I love games like Dark Souls and Bioshock, because the world is actually grounded and has deep meaning behind it, and that's why it pulled in so many people, because the world is so well realized. So I am going to talk briefly about the Bioshock philosophy and how they created such a convincing, amazing game world. And if you do enjoy that type of content, I am thinking of starting a new game series of just the philosophy in games. But this is more of a retrospective, so no spoilers here, just talking about the gameplay and the lore and the meaning behind Bioshock. What I love about Bioshock is it's an actual philosophical idea in motion. And basically, this is the philosophy of Ayn Rand, because Andrew Ryan and this amazing city that he created is basically Ayn Rand's ideas come to life in this city of pure capitalism and objectivism. The idea and philosophy of Ayn Rand is basically industrious, and having the people with the power and the industry behind them to come together and to create a utopian city of pure capitalism and industry and free marketplace, less government. Industries, scientists, and big thinkers would all come together to make a capitalist utopia. Andrew Ryan, the character in the game, is sick of the idea of socialism, the lack of care for the individual, and the massive regulation of governments, and basically having a limited potential with what they can and can't do because of what the government says, because of regulations, and because of law and morality. It would be an objectivist reality, and that's what this city was all about. That's what Rapture was all about for Andrew Ryan, who basically embodied the philosophy of Ayn Rand. And I find that so interesting because we don't get to see that in video games, that idea of a utopian society, these ideas of communism or objectivism, actually seeing them come to life. They might sound interesting or good on paper, but in reality, things will collapse pretty quickly because human beings are fundamentally flawed creatures, and we need some kind of system in place to keep us regulated, even though I am actually a person who doesn't like government, and I think a free market is the best. But the idea of objectivism and the lack of a shared morality, this is what a society would look like if taken to the extreme under those circumstances. And I think that's just so interesting. The core principles of objectivism is reality, realism, self-interest, and capitalism, pure logic, and there is no need for questioning of what is reality, metaphysics, anything like that. And that can be very destructive because it shuts down other ideas of thought, like, Buddhism or Stoicism. It gets rid of supernatural philosophies and religion. It's very clear that Andrew Ryan is an atheist. He thinks that God is dead and it's pointless being held back by the ideas of morality. And to some degree, I do think he has a point, but he takes it to the extreme. He has a complete disdain for, the lower class, or people, bottom feeders, in other words, people who are freeloaders on welfare and stuff like that. In this utopian capitalist society, the people basically at the bottom of society, they just get left behind, and there is no regulation to keep this order. By using Atom, which is the currency and the kind of resource in the game, and that's what they use to create this future utopian city under the water. Basically, it got out of hand and it just created a bunch of addicts, and they saw the complete collapse of social hierarchy, which is just so interesting to see this being played out in a video game. And it doesn't say all of that to you. That's what's interesting about it. When you first enter Rapture, you're completely clueless, you have no idea what's going on, and that's what makes this game so great. Just like Dark Souls, you have to figure out what's going on. You have to, dive a little deeper into understanding this world. But everything in this world is important because it actually adds to the gameplay, and it enriches the gameplay if you understand it more, because it's not just random gameplay features. All of these things actually have meaning within the lore, within the philosophy, and that's why games like these are so incredible and important, and we need more of them in art and media, because it makes you think, it makes you question about your own reality, who you are as a person. And the media of video games is so different from watching a movie or listening to a speech on YouTube or whatever, listening to a YouTuber talk about a game like I'm doing right now, because you're involved, you're actually in control, or you think you are in control, and basically your actions have consequence, and you can engage in this world in a very dynamic way. And Bioshock is so great because not only does it have all of this meaning behind it, but now let's get on with what makes this game stand out on its own, even without all of this. But for people like myself, this is just what brings it to the next level. And now let's discuss the gameplay. Now, if you are enjoying this video, make sure that you give it a like and share it on Reddit. I would appreciate it. I have no idea how you do any of that stuff. And if you're enjoying this content and you want to see more videos like this, like I said, I am going to do more of these videos in the new year. Make sure you do subscribe and consider a small donation to support the channel. That's how I can keep doing this. So the first thing that I love about it, and a lot of old games do this, but sadly we are losing that in the modern day gaming industry, is it does not hold your hand whatsoever. It expects you to actually have a brain and figure out the game for yourself and what you need to do and how to interact with the world. And Bioshock does give you this sandbox type feel to it. It's not as open as Prey or System Shock. You can't decide, in what order you want to do things, but it does give you a lot of player agency and freedom. The player agency comes in with how you interact with the world, not exactly where you choose to go. And there are so many different play styles with this game, and bear in mind, this is when a lot of these ideas were fresh, so it was very revolutionary, because you can choose to hack, you can choose to be more focused on, gun gameplay and FPS shooting, or you can basically focus into magic, basically plasmids. And, this does remind me a lot of games like Prey, where you can create a character and choose how you want to go about playing that game. You could be a sneaky little pacifist in some ways and just go around hacking turrets and, using your plasmids to control people or set up traps. Like I said before, the lore justifies the gameplay. Everything in Bioshock actually has an explanation to it. And what I mean by that is, if you die, then you don't just respawn, and it's the same in Dark Souls. There's an actual meaning behind the game respawning mechanic. You have these reviving chambers that basically bring you back from the brink of death. You also have all of these explanations in the game about how the audio logs work, because that is basically how the story is told to you. The shops scattered around give off this utopian capitalist, future city vibe. Everything is for sale. Everything is, hyper capitalistic. But not just that, seeing the turrets around, they actually make sense within the game because Andrew installed a bunch of turrets and cameras to, patrol his people and to control what left he has of the city. And all of that kind of stuff actually makes sense within the world space, and I love that. For audio logs that you would find, you actually see advertisements promoting that, this is a kind of new trend that was happening within the city of people journaling and stuff like that. So you get the idea that everything actually makes sense within the game world, and that just makes it feel way more impactful. And this all comes from the incredible art design of this game. And, it took the idea of this kind of future steampunky, 50s type design. The level designs are oozing with character. Again, I'm a sucker for this. So many modern day games now are so lazy and cheap. They don't care about the artistry anymore. They took time and they added so much detail into absolutely everything. The lighting here is absolutely incredible. This kind of flooded, dark ambience. The sound design and hearing the enemies talking to themselves in the distance, it creates an unsettling atmosphere. And the lighting is so beautiful with this dingy darkness blending with the neon capitalist, storefronts and all of these different shops, reminding you that this was a society that was once actually maybe thriving, but has completely decayed now, which perhaps maybe could have worked, but like most people end up doing, it gets corrupted. You can just feel that by walking around Rapture, and it's incredible. Bioshock also does have elements of exploration because as you upgrade your plasmids and upgrade your character, you can actually backtrack and unlock new areas. You can use your plasmids to unlock new areas of the game, and stuff like that just feels so great when the developers are confident enough to, leave something that a lot of players might miss and not shout about it, but it's there for the people who are actually paying attention to this, amazing world that they created. And finally, the story of Bioshock is incredible. It's a slow, developing story of mystery, corruption, and like I said, of philosophical ideas taken to the extreme, and it always keeps you on your feet. You're going to meet so many interesting characters, and as you get up to these crescendos of meeting these characters or kind of bosses, you can hear the audio logs and the character development of how they slowly went insane and how the lust and greed of this society completely tore it apart. And I just think that's incredible, and we need more games like this. This is what we need. We need to stop caring about graphics and fancy gameplay mechanics. We need to bring back good grounded ideas and truly have developers realize them and create world spaces that actually have meaning behind them and gameplay mechanics that truly complement the meaning behind the world space they created. But that's lacking in a lot of games nowadays. So that was my Bioshock retrospective. That's why you should play Bioshock in 2023. And that is why Bioshock is a masterpiece. And I would say now it's in my top 5 games. And as for the philosophy of Bioshock, I think it's very interesting, and a city or a country of this type of ideology, I think, could flourish if there was no corruption and a mutual understanding of morality and some kind of justice system of that morality. But sadly, this world completely fell apart, and it's very interesting to think about it and dissect it. If you enjoy that aspect of the video, then let me know, and I might make a new video series on just dissecting philosophy in video games, as well as doing retrospective game content. And if you did enjoy, make sure you do subscribe. And yeah, basically, this is the special announcement that I said to watch until the end. this is pretty much the end of the year, and I am so thankful for all of you guys and all of you sinners for subscribing and being with me, and I hope that we're going to make 2023 an amazing year for this channel and community, and we're going to do some great stuff. Like I said, I have a lot of new ideas for content, so stick around for that. I would appreciate your feedback, so please just let me know what type of content you would like to see. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed my Bioshock 2023 review, and let's hope our society does not completely collapse, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace out.